Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to A Kick MMA, episode 255. I am Brendan. Liz Carmouche taking on DeAnna Bennett at Bellator 294. We're going to talk about the main card here. We're going to break down all the fights in the main card. And then in the next video, we'll do the prelims. But for now, we're going to do Liz Carmouche, DeAnna Bennett, Tim Johnson, Sowma, Arlene, Blencowe versus Sara McMann, and the other two fights on the main card here. So we're going to break all those down real quick before we get started. If you like this kind of stuff, you like podcasts about MMA, you like MMA breakdowns, you like fight breakdowns, I do that stuff here, 2 or 3 videos every single week. This week is going to be crazy. So many stupid videos because there's so many events. Subscribe to the channel so the next video is coming out. All right, let's get started. Liz Carmouche defending her belt. A little bit of lead up to this. They have fought before. So she defended her belt against DeAnna Bennett. She ends up getting the win here and in a convincing fashion. But a little bit of backstory here. DeAnna Bennett missed weight. So she weighed in at 126.2, which I don't know if you're familiar with how the weight classes go, but 125 is the weight class. And you do not get a pound allowance, right, for the championship fight. So not only was she missed weight normally, 126.2 misses weight by 0.2 pounds in any normal fight. She missed championship weight by a pound, 1.2 pounds. Okay, so that's not even close, right? We're not talking about she can take no, not even close. So she lost the ability to win the belt. Liz Carmouche decided to put the belt on the line regardless, meaning she could lose it or retain it, but DeAnna Bennett could never gain it. It's kind of weird why she did that. I don't know. Maybe it has to do with pay. Maybe because for a championship fight, you make more money. That could be. I am not sure. Liz was able to land the low kick and a good hook early on. Liz threw a spinning heel kick and ends up on her back. So she tried to attack off her back, and Bennett really didn't do anything on top, but she spent this entire round on her back. You know what? What are you going to do? She lost this round to Bennett 10-9, easy peasy. Second round here. Nice jab and a low kick from Liz Bennett. She was using the jab really well. Liz was loading up on the low kick and the jabber from Liz. Bennett was using her jab really well. Liz was loading up on the overhand right, but also doing a decent job countering. So every time Bennett would come in, she would counter with a hook. But Liz tried for a takedown. Bennett used the arm to get in top position. They get back up. There was really nothing there. Liz using a low swinging, like a swinging low kick, comes up on top and landing 2 decent shots upstairs. Then she gets in on the clinch. Bennett was able to get the takedown with 35 seconds left, but she didn't do anything with it. The damage should go to Liz in this round. So I had it 19-19 going into the third. I did have it tied here. I could see someone giving this round to Bennett, but because it was kind of close, but I felt like Carmouche did more damage. And the control time wasn't that great, and nothing really happened. All right, round 3 here. Bennett was moving a lot, rushing in, throwing a ton of punches, but she doesn't land anything. Then Liz landed a hard right hand. Bennett in on the takedown with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left, and then she spent the entire round on top. So she was doing a great job rolling over the hips, staying on top, keeping heavy pressure, not allowing Carmouche to work her way back up, even though Carmouche was trying a lot of different things, trying a lot of different sweeps, using the lockdown, half guard sweeps, getting the knee shield in, try to separate. She tried for submissions. It just didn't do anything. Bennett stayed on top the whole time. So I had her up 29-28 going into the 4th round. Bennett in on a takedown attempt, and after a really hard kick from Liz in a topside crucifix. So she managed to pin both of the arms back while she was on the back of Bennett, and using that position, she ends up working herself into mount and getting the arm triangle and gets the finish. What a fantastic finish for her. Real quick, let's watch it here. It's an arm triangle finish. If you've seen one, you've seen a million, right? Then she works her way to the side. So the fence was actually preventing her from getting it, but she got enough of a hard push in there to really cut off the blood and make it uncomfortable for Bennett to stay in there. A good finish for her. Couple things. I don't know where the hate is coming from. I don't know if people really dislike. Are we supposed to dislike Liz? Are we supposed to dislike Liz Carmouche for some reason? Did I miss a memo? I don't know. Are we supposed to not like her? It seems like when she wins, everybody's kind of like, eh. I feel like the same thing is going on with Bellator. We'll talk about it in the prelims when we get to that one. The very first fight of the night is a pristine example, like a time capsule of how not to call a fight. The most one-sided commentary I have ever heard. It was ridiculous. And there was a little bit of that going on here, and just it wasn't that bad. There was some of it in the fight later on that we'll talk about, but that being said, are we supposed to dislike Liz Carmouche? I don't know why. What is there to dislike? You don't like her fighting style? Like, she a little boring? I mean, she's getting finishes. I mean, yeah, she was on her back the whole time here, and she was losing. You know, I had her down two rounds to one, but she kept working. You know, it's, you know, at these lighter weight classes, a lot of the fighters aren't going to be throwing, fight-ending blows with most of their shots. You know, some of the grappling is going to be more rudimentary, but I don't see. I think Carmouche is fine, and she got a lot of hate for winning that first fight or winning the belt the first time, and everybody thought it was an early stoppage. Which, you know, whether it is or isn't, that's not her fault. And then second of all, she wasn't calling up for it. And we'll talk about that later too. But anyway, I thought she did a great job. I thought she did exactly what she needed to do in that third round, you know, working her way to stop that takedown. I felt like even if she didn't win it in that round, it would have been 2-2 going into the final round, giving her an opportunity to win. So I don't feel like she was so behind that she needed a Hail Mary here. I thought that she was working. I thought Bennett was doing a better job in the fight, and overall, I felt like I felt like Bennett was probably going to win had that fight gone the distance, but there's no way to know, and Liz could have caught her in the final round too. So I don't think there was any luck involved there. She worked her position. She did everything she was supposed to do, and Bennett just, you know, put herself in a bad spot and couldn't get out of it. Great win for Liz Carmouche. Tim Johnson versus Saeed Sowma. All right, these big boys. Well, one big boy and one guy he's a big dude, but, you know, not the same size as Tim Johnson here. This one was a little bit weird. I don't think I have. There's no highlights from this one. Nope. Okay, so first round here. Tim was in on the clinch, though he just didn't do much damage with it. Sowma was landing leg kicks to keep range, and that was his whole strategy this entire fight. Johnson taking a head kick and then running Sowma down, landing some strikes and getting the slam takedown. Not much damage, and they get right back up. The round was weird. I leaned towards Sowma for the damage, but it was pretty close. Apparently, everybody gave this round to Johnson. Like I said, it was close. Maybe that slam and the fact that he was chasing him down and they weren't scoring those front kicks that much. I just felt like he got outstruck and outdamaged. So I gave that to Sowma. I think I was off here, to be honest with you. Compared to, I must have missed something. Maybe I wasn't watching close enough. Maybe Johnson landed something that I didn't see. Johnson was kicking the legs and pushing his way into the clinch. Sowma he should not be at heavyweight. In this round is when I really noticed it. He's fast. He was landing some really good kicks, and he's a lighter guy. He could cut down and make 205. This fight wasn't a ton of fun to watch. Sowma was only landing kicks and keeping his distance, but I felt like it was working, so I had him up 20-18. And then in this last round here, Tim was chasing him down. He got the clinch again. They separate. He got the body lock takedown, but they get right back up. Sowma still using the front kicks like a jab. I still thought this last round of Sowma's. I gave every round of Sowma. But that's not what happened. Johnson ends up getting the win 29-28. That first and third round, they must have given it to Johnson because the second round was clearly Sowma's. So, you know, I don't think it's this. I'm not so attached to this one, or I don't think I was so right or wrong or anything, or anybody else is wrong. I think I must have missed something in that first round because the first round, I said it was close. So maybe, that one could go either way. The last round, maybe that's where I missed something. I thought Sowma won that last round too. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. I based off what everybody's saying, I must have been off on this one. Because I'm not the only person to give the last round to Sowma, but I was the only person to give Sowma the first round. So I thought it was close, but apparently it wasn't. Or even if it was, Tim Johnson did enough in everybody else's eyes to get that round. Good job for him, though. All right, Arlene Blencowe versus Sara McMann. This was Sara McMann's debut in Bellator. Debut fight at 140. Well, actually, I don't know if this was her debut 145 fight, to be honest. But you could tell she was definitely the smaller woman out there. Interesting fight, to say the least. So you could hear the commentary. I'll mention it when we get to it. But the way this was working out, McMann uses the hip toss, but Blencowe rolled over through. She gets on top. McMann grabbed the heels and got a reversal immediately. McMann back. She was on the back for most of that round. Easily her round 10-9. And then, let's see here. McMann got the ankle pick in the second round. A single leg drive. Drives her to the fence, gets a body lock takedown. McMann worked her way to mount in the back again. And then, this is when I noticed it. It was funny how McMann was dominating, so John McCarthy had nothing to say. He didn't say anything. In fact, he tried to pull the whole, she's dominating positionally, but she's not doing damage as she started landing elbows. They get back up. McMann lands 7 knees to the head and gets a body lock takedown and gets the mount and landing damage to dominate that round. I actually gave her a 10-8 in that second round. So what was interesting about this round is during the round, they weren't talking about it. They were just talking about what Blencowe needs to do. Blencowe, this and that. Oh, she hits hard and all this and that. But they didn't want to talk about Sara McMann. And I understand. She's new to the organization. You're trying to push your homebred product here. But it wasn't her night. Blencowe landed a hard right hand, hurting Sara in the opening moments of the third round. Sara got the single leg, worked her way to the back again. Blencowe works to get up. But then Sara was in on the clinch with one underhook, landing knees and elbows to the back, and then gets the back body lock takedown again. Blencowe was complaining about lack of activity from the bottom. This is where you lose me. Every single time. You'll lose me as a fighter. If you're on bottom on the ground and you look up at the ref complaining about the person on top of you not doing anything, you lose me. You should be working to get out of that position, not looking to the ref to complain about the person on top of you not doing enough. Clearly they're doing enough. Otherwise, you would be standing because you don't want to be here. All right? I am not a fan of lay and pray. I have my problems with that. I don't like when people do that. But I think I like it. I think I like this less when they're complaining about it on the bottom, looking for the referee to save them. If you're working the whole time to get back up and you're constantly trying to land damage or doing something from the bottom and it's just not your night, it's not your night. Shit happens. But if you're looking up at the referee to save you, I got nothing for you, man. I got nothing for you. There are a lot of... So McMann did some more damage on top, landing some elbows. She dominated this round too. Like there are levels. I wrote down there are some levels to this game, and the commentary was talking shit about how she's hanging on. Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah, not Big John, but the other dude. He was talking about how Sara McMann literally holding on in this last round. How so? How so? Because she got the takedown and did exactly what she did in the previous 2 rounds. Oh, you're telling me because one punch landed and she got dropped to a knee? So she's hanging on for the rest of the 4 minutes of that round? That's not how that works, bud. They were talking shit. How she doesn't need to do damage because that's why it's so important to bank the first 2 rounds because now she can just hold on. She dominated this last round. So much so that, like, I wrote down, are we supposed to score for Blencowe because she landed one hard right hand? I didn't do that. I gave it 30-26 to Sara McMann. Now, if you go to the scorecards, one of them was 29-28 for Sara McMann. One of them was 30-27 for Sara McMann. And the last one was 30-26 for Sara McMann. And honestly, all of those are acceptable, but actually it was 29-20, 29-27. So they gave her a 10-8 round regardless. But that's what I'm saying. All three judges, or two of the three judges, saw that last round for her as well. It's not like it wasn't like this round was a blowout because of that one shot. And then, Blencowe, she was so close to winning this. She wasn't. She landed one punch and then got taken down. And yeah, during the takedown attempt, she landed a couple shots. And those aren't comfortable. And had they stayed there, yeah, I would say, this is a lot. This is damage that's adding up. But they didn't. She got taken down again. And this chick's 10 pounds, at least 10 pounds heavier. The chick is huge compared to McMann. There's just levels to it, right? McMann is a better grappler, and she just used that. Bellator favoritism. All right, Danny Sabatello versus Marcus Breno. This fight was fun to watch. So Sabatello coming off of his loss to Rafion Stotts. Controversial in his eyes. I think I scored it for Stotts. I don't think I scored it for Sabatello. It doesn't matter. It was close because Sabatello had a lot of control time, but he just didn't do anything when he had the control sheet. And I don't mean this the way John McCarthy says it. I just mean that he spent his whole time controlling and didn't do enough of it because in the end of that round, at some point in that round, he would take a couple shots, and that's the problem. If you're gonna if you're gonna be a control fighter, you have to control so much of the fight that no damage gets done to you. All right, Sabatello was landing low kicks. Breno nailed him with a right hand, stunning Sabatello for a moment. Sabatello not able to get the takedown on the first two attempts, but eventually he gets him down and he works his way to take the back with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Breno started the round off really well, but Sabatello got the control and ending the round with sub-attempts and damaging from the back. I gave it 10-9 to Sabatello. Second round, Breno landing a couple right hands with some hooks, so Sabatello gets the takedown. Breno dives on a knee bar. It looked like it was close, but it wasn't because the knee slid past the hips. It just wasn't there. That was a lot of work just to get mounted again. So he gets mounted, the back gets taken, and Sabatello gets the finish here. Fantastic finish for Sabatello. Yeah, he gets the back. He works really hard. Eventually opening him up and getting under the neck, and you can see it once he gets that, it's over. Yeah, it was beautiful finish by Sabatello, and of course he had plenty of F-bombs to throw out there when he after he won in his post-fight speech. So classic Danny Sabatello. He wants to fight in Chicago. I'd be down for that because I do want to go to that card. All right, Levan Chokheli versus Michael Lombardo. Welterweight fight here. Okie dokie, let's talk about this one, shall we? Exchanging leg kicks. Chokheli trying to dig in and land some hooks. Lombardo was tentative when he entered. He was kind of getting weary of the power. Chokheli hits really hard. He got a nice hip toss, and then Lombardo reversed it with his own takedown. Chokheli gets back up, back on top, and they wrestle back and forth to the end of the round. Chokheli is the one who landed the real damage, and the control was about even for me, so I gave it 10-9 to Chokheli. Second round, Lombardo pressuring but not able to land much. Chokheli was throwing hard as usual. Lombardo in on the clinch against the cage. Chokheli landing a knee, some hooks. Then in on a double leg. They get right back up. Lombardo ends the round with a momentary takedown. I don't know if Lombardo did any damage that round, but he still had a ton of control. So I gave it to Lombardo. I had it 19-19 because Chokheli didn't do anything either in that round. Last round, Chokheli still swinging away with those uppercuts and hooks. Lombardo using the jab more. Every time they engage, Levan gets the better of it. Lombardo gets the takedown with 1:30 left, but they get back up. Chokheli gets the hip toss to end the round. If there was any question in that round, it was decided right there. Chokheli gets the last round. So 2 of the judges gave all 3 rounds to Chokheli. 1 judge had it 29-28, like the rest of the world did. But that's the main card. So we'll go over the prelims in the next video. I will cover the second Bellator event. I don't know if I'm going to put that video out tonight because it's on super late, so I might have to catch it tomorrow. I'm sorry. Because there's also boxing on tonight. There's UFC on it. There's so much shit on. So I will be covering. I'm going to try and cover all the stuff. All right, no promises. I'm really going to try to cover it all. I definitely want to cover the boxing match. I'm definitely going to cover the UFC, and I really want to cover the Bellator stuff. So, wait, hold on. Is there the Yeah, I'm not crazy. Yeah, Pavlovich versus Curtis Blades. I have to watch that. Okay. Anyway, I'm not crazy. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. I really do. It means a lot to me. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel so the next video is coming out, and it also helps me out. I appreciate it. Appreciate shit. You and it at the same time. Yit. I appreciate it. It means a lot. I hope you guys all have an amazing week. If this is the only video you watch this weekend, thank you for stopping by. I love you all. Have an amazing week.